All right, everybody. It's Mr. Yo 11 coming to you live from the office chair. Anyway, as you all know, yesterday, me and Coach Gargoyle, we went to Cherokee. We had this plan for quite a while to get our redemption on the Cherokee Casino. The whole group couldn't come. I mean, it was just basically a trip that I personally wanted to take, and a trip that G personally wanted to take as well, because we didn't want to leave this year off on a bad note as far as our, casino play. So why not? Yeah, student and the coach get together, go see whether we can take on them and get revenge. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. So we set it up to where we could both meet there at the same time and stuff like that. Of course, Cargo got there before me, but it's all good. It's all good. Let's see. One of my reasons also for going, besides, getting revenge on the casino, was, as you all know that watched the video, I took $50 bills the last time. So this time I took all $100 bills. So to see, did those $50 bills have something to do with what happened at the casino the last visit? I don't know. But I will tell you this. With the $100 bills this time at the casino, everything went as smooth as it could ever go. I mean, from the ride over there to us getting in to, before I even got there, I did a little clip video. And Gargoyle had already hit, of course, a slot machine hand pay jackpot over 3. Anyway, so that was good crap bait for him. But that being said, we met up in the casino. He was over there still waiting to get his hand pay. So, we just chit-chatted for a little while. And, of course, on the weekends, the table's going to be $25. So, already expecting that. No big deal. It is what it is. We're there to play. We're there to see whether our practice sessions really pay off. Are we practicing for good results? Yeah, the casino is where you find out whether your practice is actually paying off. There was a guy at the table. He was there by himself. And after Gargoyle had got his hand pay, I said, hey, let's go up there to the crapless table because there's only one guy on it. It was a little after 9 when we got there. And he said, all right. So he got his hand paid. We walked up there, and sure enough, that guy was still on the table. He said that he was having a rough time because he had already lost a significant amount of money. And he wasn't too happy. I said, well, you know what? Maybe things will change. There's 2 more people on the table with you. You're playing by yourself. I get that. You can play by yourself and maybe the results will be in your favor, but he was one of those that just picked up the dice and chucked them and, hoping for a lucky run. No problem with that at all. He had the dice when we got there. I'm assuming that he had just 7'd out. Because when we got there, we were able to buy in. We bought in. It was just me, him, and G at the time. And he was like, well, I've already lost $8,000 in here, so I'm going to just, I was like, dang, man, let's try to get it back for you, man. Let's see what we could do. Anyway, he got the dice back because he was already on the table after they had already, counted our buy-in, put us in the system and stuff like that, gave us our chips. So he got the dice back. He rolled a little bit, I think maybe about 5 times, and he 7'd out. Not good. He walked away with his hands empty. It was just me and G on the table at the time. So, dice went over to G. And then, all of a sudden, when the dice went up to G, a good old friend of mine came to the table from a while back. I'm pretty sure you guys will probably remember me talking about this guy from the Virgin Islands, St. Croix, Peter. The guy that hit the ATS 4 times on the same, and Patrick was there. Patrick Switzer, he was there the last time this happened. Peter, the guy from the Virgin Islands, he pulls up at the table, and I was like, "Hey, Peter, man, what's up, man?" So we let him buy in, and he bought in, and it was good to see him again. So, I mean, you got G, you got Peter, and then you got myself. We're all positive attitude people. So, I mean, we're on the crapless table. We don't have to worry about the don't players. We bought in with our hundreds, so we don't have to worry about the jinx of the 50. But I did play the Grand Special. For all of you guys that want to know, yeah, it worked out really good. Anyway, so attitude's positive, so G gets the dice. He rolls, and he goes on a really good roll the first time. I think, he actually rolled 27 rolls on his first roll. On his first roll, he rolled 27 times. All right? So the dice moves over after he sevens out. I mean, I think G had the point of 2. He hit the aces. He had the point of 4. He hit it hard. I had money on it. I had money on that hard 4. We don't need to talk about that because that's beside the fact. We made some money on that roll. Then after he sevened out, Peter got the dice. Peter was on the opposite side. He was on stick right 2. Yeah, he was on stick right 2. Gargo was shooting from straight out on the right-hand side. I was the only one in the position which I was supposed to be, which I'm glad the table was empty, so I actually got to stand exactly where I'm supposed to be. I like when Sarge says that, he's got this little thing where he could, measure out and find the spot where he's supposed to be. Well, yeah, that worked out for me. I was able to get in my spot. Well, Peter was in the wrong spot. So he chucked him down there a little bit, probably rolled a couple rolls, and then he sevened out. He was like, "Man, that's all right. That's all right." I said, "That's all right. It's my turn. We'll see what we could do." So G is standing down there on the end. And there was a reason why he was standing down there. He didn't tell me why he was standing down there. But as a good coach, I appreciate that guy, man. He helps me out a lot. Gargoyle is the real deal. I don't care what nobody says. So the guy's the real deal. So as far as a coach, yes, he's a great coach, great guy. I'll do anything for anybody. I'm not putting him on the pedestal, just telling the truth. I get the dice. Me and him had a couple of phone calls earlier throughout the week, and he said, "Go out there to your table, do this, do that, just make sure that everything's lining up." So I get the dice. I'm in my position as if I was practicing here at the table. I do exactly what he says. They line up. I toss the dice. They go straight down exactly the way I was practicing. Bam, they hit, I forget what my point was. Oh no, it was a 4. That's what it was. It was a 4. Gargo looks at me and he nods his head. He nods his head like that. Okay, all right, you're good. All right, so I get the dice again. Same concept. I hit the 9, okay? Rolled again. Hit the 10. Rolled again. Hit the 12. Rolled again, hit the 11. Uh-oh. G's looking at me. His eyes gets a little wide. He's like, okay, what you gonna do? You got 9, 10, 11, and 12 already out the way. Toss again. I hit the 11 again. I'm like, okay, something's going on here. So I throw in some chips. I said, hop the 8s. Hop the 8s. Set my dice, my original set, the 3, 6, 6, 5. Boom. Lock and load, 6, 2, 8. Boom. Hit the bonus. Just like that. I mean, the tall side, it was like clockwork. Everything was working. Everything was working. It was like, okay, we just hit the bonus. We just hit the side of the bonus. Go off for one roll. All right, I told G, I said, you go off for a roll. I told Peter. Peter was like, yeah, man, that's awesome. And he said, no, I ain't going off on no roll. So I got my dice back. I said, pressure the hops. Pressure the hops. Toss the dice, line drive, hard 8. I just pressured the hop bets. And it came back, the 8 came back 4-4. I was like, oh my God, this is happening right now. All right, so I get paid for my hops. The rest of my bets is off. I say, all right, we're good. Turn it back on. I continue to keep rolling. I hit the 3. I hit the point of 4. Got the point. Reset everything. We got paid on that. Got back on it. I hit the 6. I hit the 6 again. I hit the 6 3 times. I hit the 6 3 times. Then I finally hit the 5 and was not able to get aces for all of them. Okay, so by the end of that roll, I rolled a total of 16, maybe 17 rolls on the first hand. So I felt really good about that. G had a turn. Peter had a turn. I had a turn. After that, we immediately just pushed in. That's good. We're good for a minute. All right. We're good. We're going to take us a break. They're like, dang, you guys are leaving already? Well, that's what you're supposed to do. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can learn anything after a roll that you have made money on, that you have collected what you had out there and is in the profit, especially after hitting the bonus and then continuing the roll. Usually after the bonus, that 7 comes and knock everything off. But everything was going so good in sync till it was actually working until, Coach G was nodding. And then, if I went to the side, he would move his chips over there because he was doing his pass line. He would move his chips and just say, move his head over. So, and then I'd have to line it back up to try to get right. But everything worked out really good. We pushed in, like I said. We took a break. We were happy. We were like, dude, this is it. This is awesome right now. So we went to the cage. We after they gave us our money, we went to the cage, got paid out, you know what I'm saying? Peter, he left the table as well, which was good. And we were waiting on the small tub to open, okay? Because that was another reason why we were going, because we wanted to get on that little 8-foot little tub and, just loft the dice and, play on that for a little while and see how, can we make some money on that thing? I'm pretty sure we could have, but we never, it didn't open until like 10, somewhere up in there. So we decided to go play a couple slots and stuff like that. Played a couple of slots, let some time burn. By this time, it was after we played, walked around, played, chit-chatted. We came back to the little small pit, the tub, and it was packed. It was like, dang, we're not going to be able to get on it. So the crapless table was still empty. I was like, there ain't nobody playing craps today, which is fine. So G looks at me and is like, eh. And we look over there and we see Peter is on the tub over there. So he had got him a seat. He was waiting. I guess he was waiting on it to open, and he had got him a seat. So Peter was there playing. So we walked by over there, and I was like, how's this thing going, man? He was like, nah, man, I'm going to get up out of here. I said, okay, that's cool. I said, well, we're about to go back to the table. He said, all right, just wait on me. I'll be right there. So me and G, we went over, and we got back in our positions because nobody was playing on the tables. I guess that little tub thing is like $10. So I'm pretty sure people want to get on there and play. And I don't know whether you get credits on it or whatever. But anyway, we're able to get back on the table. And G got back down there where he was at. Peter finally came over. I got back in my position. And Peter finally came over. And he got in his position, which was I'm stick left too. And Peter, he loves to shoot from right after me. So that would almost be the hook part, but not quite the hook. Because somebody could still, so he was basically standing by me. So when it was his turn, I was able to back up and let him do his thing. So we get brought back in. This is our second session. The only session. We weren't staying there long, so this was our second session. So G gets the dice and he goes on another one. He starts tossing. He goes on another one, and I'm starting to watch him just walk them down. I mean, this was another 20 plus roller. I think this was another it was another 27 roller that he went on. And I'm like, this is actually happening today. So this is freaking awesome. So he's rolling and rolling, and he ends up hitting the small. So we're all like, yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. But there was one thing that G kept doing that was interesting is G must be threw the dice off the table 5 times by hitting the same spot. He just kept on. He was so consistent with the way he was tossing the dice and hitting the same spot at one particular point in his tossing. So every time he did it, one dice would stop and stay in the table and the other dice shot off. And he did that thing again. Boing! And he said, does anybody get a trophy for how many times you throw the dice off the table? The one single dice off the table, the other one stays on and the other one goes off. And they're like, no, you don't get nothing for that. Anyway, so we're all chuckling and laughing about that. So we're on the table, and then all of a sudden this other guy, he comes on and he's got a Hawaiian crap shooter hat on. And I'm like, oh, snap. And he was like, you know, me and him, we got to talking, and great guy, man. Excellent guy, man. He plays crapsy with the Hawaiian crap shooters. He knows about us. He knows about, I mean, it's just, so we had a table of 4. G, there was nobody down there but G, because Peter had came on my side. Me, Peter, and then the Hawaiian crap shooter hat guy. He told me his name. I'm sorry, guy. Hey, if I know that I'll connect with you again because we locked in. So I know I'll catch up with you again. But anyway, after G hits that small, he rolls a couple more times and then he sevens out. So it's my turn to get the dice. So I return the favor. I don't hit the tall or the small, but I roll a good, consistent roll of a bunch of inside box numbers. It was a 20. I think it was a 24 roller. So that's the second. I mean, we're raking them. I mean, we are raking them. We are busting them in their heads, man. This is a redemption round. This is the end of the year session right here. This is the end of the year crap session for me personally. I'm not going back unless I get a wild hair up my butt and say, okay, because I do got family coming in town next week, so we might end up going, but I don't know for sure. I don't want to really, go there when it's real crowded during like that. But anyway, all right, so I go on a great roll. We make a lot more. And I finally 7 out after G's moving his stuff back and forth. And he's looking at me like, hey, man, And then when I finally 7 out, he's like, dude, you were all over the place. What's going on, man? He's like, and that's good. I would rather have somebody that's on the team with me and we're playing craps to get on to me about like, dude, straighten your act up, man. You're throwing over here. You're throwing over there. You practice the toss straight. What's going on? But he understood, over time, you toss, it'll go like that. It'll get like that. And he was like, man, you was tossing really good in the beginning, but then it started going to the left, it started going to the right, and that's called toss decay. I get that. And I mean, he was still happy. He was still happy with the results that I was performing at the time. But, when I kept seeing him move his chips, I knew that something was going south, you know what I'm saying? But still, to get 24 rolls out of, just tossing them. And I mean, he commended me for what he seen in my toss and how things were reacting with the table. And besides, they actually changed the layout. So the table isn't that bouncy no more. Okay, so if you're in the tub, there's one crapless table. The first crapless table that you come to that's right across from the cage, that's the table to play on. The rest of them, they're super bouncy. That's on you if you want to play on them. But the other one, they actually changed the layout on it. It's back playable. It was awesome. Moving forward, Peter St. Croix, my man. He actually lives in Georgia. Great guy, positive attitude. Good roll, dap me up. So I'm like, all right, man, here you go, Peter. And I'm like, gee, hey, I'm going to tell you right now, something fitting to go down, man, because, we're looking at our racks and we're good. Hey, this trip is a wrap, whether anything goes or whatever. So we give Peter the opportunity to toss. Peter gets in a groove. I move out of the way. Peter gets into his groove of a loft toss. He has I don't know how he done because I step away to give him his room so that he could do his thing. He's nowhere near the stick man, so they can't tell him to back up or do whatever. So Peter's lofting and he's doing his thing, and by all means, he hits the tall. He hits the tall. This is a guy that I witnessed hit the ATS 4 times on the same table with quarters on it, and I followed him that day. That day was stupid. Double digit. I'm talking stupid. That day was. But here he goes again. This is months later. Peter's back in the building. And he's swinging. He hits that tall. We erupt. Yes, good job. Stay cool. Turn me off for a roll. All right? Because most of the time, what happens? Nope. This time, Peter, boop, hop the 6s. Bam, he pops them 6s for me. Here we go. We're on a roll. So, I treated it as if he had just, threw the dice off the table. So turn me off for a roll after you hit the ATS is something that I would do regardless. But I will hop them 6s like it's the beginning of the roll. So he pops them 6s for me. I'm like, okay. So he keeps on rolling. And it keeps on rolling. And I'm watching it. And it's like 4, 5. And he's already got that 6. And then he hits. I said, give me a 3-way. I'm already out there on the 3. Let me get a 3-way. He hits the dang 3. So they pay me for that, and they pay me for this. I'm like, oh, shit. So G down there, he's like, dealers, he's like, the dealers, me, aces, this or that, whatever, calling it. And Peter continues to go on about 4 more rolls, and he doesn't hit it. And all of a sudden, they stop betting it, and lo and behold, he lost them dang dice in the air, and they flop over Lily. Lily came to visit us. He hit them all. I'm like, did I not tell you that this guy right here is notorious for hitting the ATS. I mean, who would have thought that months later, this guy's in the building and he's not like the guy's just, he's lucky. Peter is a great, just positive ball of energy, man. If you ever met Peter from St. Croix, you want to play right beside him. You want to be like right there because he daps you up. He's got a smile on his face. He loves the game. He's in it to win it, and he's just like a great spirit, man. The guy's awesome. You know, he hits it. They gotta pay us. We got quarters up there. They gotta pay us even more. So after they finally pay us all, you know, and the Hawaiian guy, he was down there. We all got paid. I mean, we're racking it in. And Peter's point was the 6. His point was the 6. He kept on rolling a couple more times, but he could never hit that 6. He finally 7'd out. So after he 7'd out, it was the guy with the Hawaiian crap shooters turn on. We're all living it right now because we got him. We got him back for what happened to us the last time, which, I don't know, could be. And I'll talk about that a little later. But anyway, not trying to run this thing in a hole. Hawaiian crap shooter, smart man. You know what he said? That guy said, you know what? After a roll like that, I'm going to pass the dice. He said, can he shoot? And Peter was like, yeah, I guess he can shoot. You know, it's G. So what does G do? G takes his jacket off and he said, well, let's get this out of the way. And what does he do? He PSOs. We push it in. We're done. That's it. You know, because, I mean, end of the trip. End of the trip. We went there 9 o'clock and we was out of there by 11 something. 12. No, after a little bit after 12. Yeah, because we went and ate breakfast. Because we were going to try to get breakfast at the Salou Gardens or something like that, and it closed at 11. That's why we ended up back on the table. So with the time that we had there, it was like clockwork. Everything worked in unison for us to do what we had to do, bust the casino in their head, collect our money, and get up out of there. We pushed all our chips in. Trust me, it was in. We were in double digits. We were not in no like little, you know, the 5, 6, 7,000. No, we were over. We were over it. Yep. So we got to see the $5,000 chips, which was awesome when they slide you those $5,000 chips, and then you're able to pick those things up real quick. And I think G might have took a picture of his. I'm not. There's no need for that. You know, hey, winning is winning, man. It don't matter how it is. But there's witnesses that was there. Peter was there. G was there. Hey, the dealers were there. The guy from the Hawaiian with the Hawaiian crap shooter hat on, he was there. There was this lady that wanted to play with us, but she came as we was pushing in. I was like, ma'am, I'm sorry, but this day is over for us. It was a quick in and out. And I said, but I think Peter's going to stay here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to advise you to just go and stand next to Peter and just y'all go ahead and play. But as for me and G, man, we got to go get some breakfast somewhere. We ended up at the Pancake House, which is right down the road from the casino. So got over there to the cage, colored up to a great tune to end the year season of playing craps. The next time I'll probably be in the casino is the end of January. Alan Tyndall is coming from up north, a good friend of Dice Grinder, Arnell, so I'm going to go play with him. I think Brian from Florida, I think he's coming this week, but I'm not going this week because I got family coming in town from Florida coming up, you know, Christmas and stuff like that. So with that being said,